I am Kit, whom you may regard as the voice of the Night 2000.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Welcome back to Mr. Fred's Tech Talks, the podcast from GetMeCoding.com, where we make learning about coding, technology, and building confidence fun and approachable for kids, parents, and teachers alike. If you would, please be sure to share this out, review it over on Apple Podcasts, give it a 5-star. Why not? Why not 5 stars? And then also, if you're looking for a keynote speaker or a guest speaker for your class or your event, I would love to come out and meet your community. So reach out to me at podcasts@getmecoding.com or reach out to me through social. You can see the links down here in the show notes. But ultimately, let's get into today's episode. Today kicks off a brand new series. Over the next few episodes, I'm going to unpack one of the biggest buzzwords out there, artificial intelligence. And yes, this is the path that will lead us to tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, Gemini, and a bunch of other chatbots. These tools, maybe you've never heard of them, but then again, maybe you've used them. Let's go.
Talking about gadgets, games, and gears. AI buzzing in your ears. Parents, teachers, kids unite. We're learning tech and doing it right. Oh, it's a tap, swipe, scroll kind of show where zeros and ones are ready to go. From old school DOS to robots that talk, we're jamming with Mr. Fred's Tech Talks.
Let's start simple. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is when we design computers and machines to think and learn in ways that feel human-like. Now, does that mean robots are about to take over the world like in the movies? No. At least not today. And remember, Hollywood loves to tell stories. It's all about luring people in, and unfortunately, it seems that humans just love the train wreck. They love to watch the car crash, unfortunately. And Hollywood plays into that. And it is a possible path to go down, but I like to also think that there's a positive path we can go down. But back to AI. AI is about teaching computers to recognize patterns, make predictions, and sometimes even create. So think of it this way. When Netflix suggests a show that you might like, well, that's AI. When your car warns you about driving or drifting out of your lane, that's AI. When your phone understands what you're saying, like, hey, well, I don't want to say it, or hey, if I say it, my phone's going to go off. Yep, that's AI again. It's already around you every day. Now, there are two kinds of AI people talk about. First, there's narrow AI. This is AI that's good at one thing, like playing chess or spotting spam emails or translating languages. General AI, this is the sci-fi version. An AI that could do pretty much anything a human could do, but we're not there yet. What we have today is mostly narrow AI, but make no doubt about it. The companies that are developing these AI chatbots or these large language model platforms, as they're known as too, they are pursuing general AI. I will add, though, that there is another category. Beyond general AI, companies are striving also to create what's known as superintelligence. Now, superintelligence goes even further into this sci-fi world where it's able to correct itself, build, and so on. But let's keep on going with understanding AI in general. How does it learn? So how does AI get smart? That's where machine learning comes in. Now, machine learning is a subset of the computer science field. Imagine giving a computer thousands of pictures of cats and dogs. At first, it's clueless, but over time, it notices patterns. Pointy ears, fluffy tails, whiskers. Eventually, it learns, this is a cat, or that's a dog. Machine learning is like practice. The more data it gets, the better it becomes. So there's a word you're going to hear a lot, and that word is algorithm. In a prior episode, I did mention the word algorithm, and it was tied to learning to code. And once again, an algorithm is just a set of instructions. A recipe. It's a recipe that the computer follows. For example, if you're baking cookies, your recipe is your algorithm. In AI, an algorithm might say, look at the shape of the ears, then look at the tail, and then look at the whiskers. Algorithms are what guide the computer through the learning process. They're step-by-step rules that help the machine make sense of the data. When you stack millions of these little steps together, you get amazing systems behind the AI tools. Now here's the bridge to ChatGPT. Instead of learning from pictures, what if you fed AI massive amounts of text, like books and articles and websites? That's what a large language model is. It studies patterns in language. Like how words fit together or how sentences are built, how ideas connect. And once it learns those patterns, it can predict the next word in a sentence. Key word in there, predict. That may sound simple, but it unlocks something powerful. The ability to chat with you in plain English, like answer questions and write stories, and even help code. That's what models like ChatGPT do. Okay. Now, once again, maybe you're not a ChatGPT user. Maybe you use Copilot or maybe you use Google's Gemini. Same idea. Now, I know some of you love peeking under the hood. So here's a fun fact. These large language models are built with programming languages just like the ones we use in coding projects, but scaled up to superhero levels. So what are those languages? Python. It's easy to read. It's packed with powerful libraries for AI and math. And libraries are nothing more than pre-written code that will handle a specific task. So you don't have to rewrite it yourself. They're pretty powerful and they're handy. Some other languages, C++ and something called CUDA. These help squeeze speed out of the hardware, the computer hardware, especially when using graphics cards, also known as GPUs. Now, CUDA, as a side note, was created by a company known as NVIDIA. Well, more on that in a moment. Another couple languages, maybe R and Julia, sometimes used for research. These two are heavy-duty math calculators. Think of Python, though, as the director given the instructions, while C++ and CUDA are the muscle making it all run fast. And here's where it really gets wild. Those muscles usually run on GPUs. The same graphics cards, guess what? Used in where? Your video games. Why? Well, because GPUs can handle thousands of tiny calculations at once. Imagine teaching an entire classroom of students instead of one-on-one. That's how the AI learns fast. We're going to come back to GPUs in a future episode, but for now, just know this. Without them, training something like ChatGPT would take years instead of weeks. So why does all this matter? It matters because whether you're a parent, a teacher, a student, or a friend driving in his car, selling pharmaceuticals, legal pharmaceuticals. Hi, Jeff. AI isn't just a future thing. It's here now. And the better we understand how it works, algorithms, data, programming underneath, and yes, even the hardware, the more we can use it wisely. In the coming episodes, I'll dive into how ChatGPT works, how you can use it safely and creatively, and why it's changing the way we learn, work, and play. I will tell you, as a college professor, I am constantly in this space right now because we understand its power to help educate and how students are trying to use it. And I will share this one little observation. I have students who are willing to use it and they're using it effectively. I have students who are very cautious with it because they don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to get accused of cheating. I also have students who simply do not want to use it because of its impact on the environment. And I'll also talk about that later on. All right, how about the tech tip for this episode? If you're curious about algorithms, try writing a simple one yourself. So pick a task like making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and write out the steps. Then take those steps and hand it to someone else to follow exactly. You'll quickly see how precise your instructions need to be. And that's just like it is in programming. There's another exercise too that I do in the classroom when I demonstrate what is an algorithm and how precise it does need to be. I'll take off my shoe in the classroom, and it's a laced shoe. So I take it off my foot, and then I ask the students to tell me how to put a shoe on. And they'll immediately, right out of the gate, they'll miss the first key step, and that's making sure you put the shoe on the correct foot. So right out of the gate, you have the shoe on the wrong foot. And then also we have to remind them, you have to put your foot into the shoe and make sure it's, in the shoe and the heel isn't squashed and so on. And then when we get to the lacing of the shoe, forget about it. It's all over the board. But it just starts to demonstrate how precise your instructions need to be, because really a computer doesn't know. AI doesn't know. It needs to be taught. And that's where a lot of this comes into play. All right, that's it for today's episode. This is the first step in our journey into artificial intelligence. Next time, we'll dig deeper into large language models and cover the secret sauce behind tools like ChatGPT. If you enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. And hey, share this with a friend that's curious about AI. Until next time, keep exploring, keep coding, and keep asking great questions.
I'll be back.